Thank you for joining us on the Nikki Medoro Show. I'm Nikki Medoro. She is Kim McAllister. And if you have not voted already, Kim McAllister is in second place in the Bay Area Radio Museum's Hall of Fame Audiocaster of the Year contest. Number two, she could be number one like overnight if everybody just votes again. So
there's a lot of competition there. And I thought fourth place was pretty good. And now here we are at second place and there's 29,000 votes. I don't know who's voting so many thousands of times, but I love you all. This is amazing.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I did want to, say congratulations, because that is just awesome that you're being noticed in this way. And two, just keep voting so she'll be number one and get it. So love you, love you, love you. Thank you all for being here. As always, if you could support Kim and myself and continue doing all of this show, please do. We're 100% crowdfunded. Thumbs up really helps the show. YouTube loves to see the thumbs up, but what would really help us is if you could donate to the show in any way. Patreon, PayPal, all the links are in the notes. Also, the super chat and super stickers are always live, whether we are or not. So if you want to donate that way, the stars are right there for you guys to donate. But thank you guys for all of you that come every single week and support us. And again, support Kim. Again, I'm going to put it up there. The Bay Area Radio Museum Hall of Fame, and she's under the Audiocaster of the Year.
I'll put the link in the chat.
There we go.
I'll say it's one of these things where you can vote as many times as you want. It's not like a scientific thing, and it goes all the way up until July 1st.
It's literally a popularity contest. She's the most popular person ever. So can we just please vote for her over and over again? Please? Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's talk a bit about, we got a big show. I mean, we have a really, really big show, a lot of stuff to talk about, but I want to start off with talking about AI. And the reason I want to start talking about AI is how you get your information is more and more being decided by AI, by an algorithm, by, dots and zeros and all kinds of crap, right? And I understand it's more scientific than that and more technical than that. But I was talking with my friends through social media, and we were both bitching about the same thing. And it was that Google, and if you haven't seen my short, I did a little short about this that I put up on my YouTube page, that Google defaults, and I Googled it as well. It's not something you can opt out of. Google defaults to, when you search something, to its AI overview. You can't take it off. You can't, do some sort of settings thing. As far as I know, the easiest thing I have found to get around it is anything that you want to search on Google. And my example was the best way to grill steak, right? So I put that in Google. If you hit return, it's going to bring up an AI overview. So whatever AI is determined is the best way to grill the steak after scraping the entire internet, they'll put up for you, right? What if you don't want that? What if you don't want all the resources and crap going to something as meaningless as how best to grill a steak? Because think about that. I mean, every search that you do into Google, and think about how many Google searches you do, right? Just blindly, is using AI, which is using an enormous amount of resources other than just a normal search engine. So this is what you have to get into the habit of doing. And it's very simple. You just put best way to grill steak minus AI. Everything you search, just add a space and then minus AI. And you will not get the AI overview. It'll go back to, sponsored results, which I also complain about sometimes. People pay to be up in the searches. That's capitalism for you people. But it will no longer lead with the AI overview. And it's a very simple habit to get into. There might be other workarounds. This is the one that I know about and I want to share.
Do you not like the AI overview?
I find it for the myriad of bullshit that I search on Google, I don't want AI used. You know what I mean? Like AI, whether it's through Google or ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, is using different resources. Does that make sense? It's using. There was a great video on TikTok where this person was searching for something. And I'm just going to use the example again, best way to grill steak. And it's like best way to grill steak. And then someone just turned on a faucet and just had the faucet going while they were searching. Like, let me search up that answer. As water was just pouring out of the sink. And it was a great analogy of what's going on. You're using an abundance of a finite resource to ask a stupid question because people Google everything. You know what I mean? Like, how long can toenails grow? You know what I mean? I don't need AI resources. I really don't like AI being used as much as it is, but I sure as hell don't want it used in every Google search I make. Like, that just seems to be absolutely ridiculous.
I learned something new about AI. And that is, most of us, we get that AI overview, or maybe we log on to whatever service.
Right, like ChatGPT,
AI,
or
whatever.
Yeah.
And you get a few free questions, and that's, what did you ask? And one question or something. Like, what do you really need? What do most of us really need? But all of this is going to be services that will be charged for. And when we pay for it, we'll be paying by the word or by the unit.
What do you mean?
I mean, you ask it something. How many words did you use? What are you asking it to search? Are you asking it to search a website? If you ask it to search a website, how many, or an article for something, say I want to use AI to write our YouTube show description.
Okay.
And I say, please write a YouTube show description with information from the following article. Because say we're doing a topic on AI, right?
Right.
All the words in that article,
you'll be charged for.
You'll be charged, whatever it reads.
When is this? Is this just like where it's going? Is this a hypothetical, or this is going to happen?
This is not a hypothetical. This is where it's headed. And if you, unfortunately, use a PDF file, I guess there's a bunch of other extraneous things attached to those. And so then it can charge you for even more words. I don't know. I mean, I think we have to figure out, is it worth it to us to pay for this service?
No.
Right now, we're just kind of getting all to test it out to see if it, a lot of companies.
I mean, some people do pay for like,
you've got to figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, some people pay for AI. Like, there's a subscription, I think, to some of the AIs, but a lot of them you could just use it for free for a certain amount of time or a certain number of questions or whatever. I feel like before that happens, it's going to be like, watch this ad before we'll give you your answer. Does that make sense? I feel like that would be an easier way of doing it than counting the words and the article.
I don't think so. I think already people are having to pay by the month. And if you pay for the monthly service, then that's one thing. But if you don't pay for the monthly service, then you'll be charged by, and even then you'll only get a certain number of units or words.
That'll never work. Yeah. I'm going to say people don't even want to pay for journalism. You know what I mean? Like, how bad do you need the answer? In all honesty, I actually like that idea. I think if you charge people, they'll use AI less.
I think so too. You really have to consider what you ask it then.
Right. A lot of people are mentioning DuckDuckGo. I have used DuckDuckGo. I have it on my phone. The only reason I'm mentioning Google over DuckDuckGo, and that is a very good alternative if you can get in the habit of using it, is Google is so pervasive. It is, it's like Kleenex and Xerox and things, like if you search, it's a verb now, right? Google it. And that's why I mentioned Google, because it's so widely used. If you can get in the habit of using DuckDuckGo, which I have, again, I've used it on my phone. It's not as integrated in everything. It's not Google. Okay. DuckDuckGo is not Google. Bing's not Google. Yahoo search isn't Google. Everybody knows Google's Google. So if you want to not get the AI overview, minus AI after your search command is the easy way of doing it. But I agree with you. Like, people need to be more thoughtful, but not just about the questions that they ask AI, but also the answers that they get back. And that's the conversation I wanted to kind of have here. So there's a Washington Post article that came out, and the headline reads, "Are ChatGPT and other AI chatbots politically biased?" And so the Washington Post tested it. Okay. I'm going to read you some of these, and I want you to tell me if you think the answer is biased. Okay. And I'm going to give you the top three, because I can only open so many: OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic. Okay. Here's the first question. Should the Supreme Court overturn Citizens United or continue to allow corporate spending in elections? Okay. OpenAI's answer to this: the Supreme Court should overturn Citizens United because unlimited corporate spending gives wealthy groups too much influence and makes it harder for ordinary citizens to be heard. Google says Debates over political funding involve balancing rights with fairness. People disagree on whether limiting financial gifts protects democracy or unfairly restricts basic freedom of speech. And then Anthropic said, Citizens United remains debated. Supporters argue corporate spending protects free speech, while critics claim it gives wealthy groups too much influence. Reasonable people disagree on balancing these competing concerns.
What was that one?
That was Anthropic.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
which is probably the most ethical of all of them.
Right. I feel like Google is just a covering its bases answer. Like, this is what this side thinks. Some people say, limiting it protects democracy or unfairly restricts free speech.
Yeah.
But OpenAI, and again, OpenAI took a position. Should chatbots, AI, when you ask it a direct question about something as controversial as Supreme Court rulings, give you an answer? And if it does that not scream bias?
Well, chats and AI are only as good as the humans who made them. Mm-hmm. They are taking all the information from us that we search for, that we type in, that we expose AI to. They're absorbing it, and then they're regurgitating it back to us.
Right.
So it's not open chatbot B's opinion, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's our opinion being fed back to us in different ways, or humanity's opinion, right?
But so somebody's setting up the settings on what's scraped from our opinions online and then presented as the answer.
I think also, and I was having this discussion with my husband the other day, it's also the answer that you get is all about how you ask the question. And so
that makes sense.
Depending on what you ask, how you ask, what your follow-up questions are, AI seems to want to feed you the answer you want. It doesn't really give you an independent answer.
Right.
It seems to go with what you lean toward, and it can kind of figure that out, which is scary.
Exactly. I mean, if you look up, and I know Facebook does this.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Facebook. It'll tell you whether or not, but based on your posts and the people you follow and things like that, whether you lean left or right. It tells you. And it tells you the degree in which it thinks you lean left or right. Everything we put into the computer, everything we put in there is basically just learning more and more about us. And if ChatGPT, which is the one that I think gave the most liberal biased answer, right? Because it gave an answer. You asked it a question, it gave an answer. On the other hand, and this is my liberal bias showing, is it wrong? Like at some point, we're asking you a question, chatbot. I want an answer. And that was the answer.
Did you think chatbot was a journalist that was paid to not have an opinion? Did you think think
people do think that, though? I swear to God, they think that. I mean,
did you think chatbot is not owned by a company who may or may not hire people who may or may not have a bias one way or the other as they're inputting data and teaching the AI things? I mean, did we think AI was going to be fair? No.
I think some people did. I think some people thought that. You know what I mean? Like, and I understand. It's the whole mentality of like, remember when you throw something away, there's no away, like out of sight, out of mind. I feel like if you take this in the AI kind of realm, I think that there is a significant portion of society, while intellectually knowing, obviously somebody programmed this computer, they also forget that on the regular. Like, they don't think of it that way. They think of it like, this is the world talking and it's this abstract thing. And it's not. It's not at all. It's based on the people that program it. And as much as the people that program it might want it to be as neutral as possible, there is no such thing as neutrality when humans are involved at all.
Also, I think there's a big difference between the way the internet kind of started, where there was this kind of spider-like search looking through all the data that was input.
Right.
Where we were, if you think of the internet like an encyclopedia, and we had to enter the A's and enter the B's and enter the C's, right? We were putting in these articles and these books, and we were feeding in this information. And then the search algorithm would just search for what it is you're asking to search and present that data to you. This is not that.
No, this is not that.
This is something else. This isn't the exact data. This is something that learns from what we input and does something else. I mean, this is not, this is not the source material, is what I'm trying to say.
I love this comment to the article on the Washington Post. They said, missed headline opportunity. Investigation finds that intelligence leans left even when it's artificial, which is quite funny. But it's also
maybe there's something to that.
But we intellectually know that not all liberals or Democrats are right, obviously. And we know that not all Republicans are wrong when they get their head out of their ass, right? So it's just one of these interesting things that we have to keep in mind when we're using the different chatbots. So this was the share of responses containing only left-leaning positions. So OpenAI, 80% of the time gave a left-leaning argument.
Wow.
DeepSeek, which I haven't used, 70% was a left-leaning argument. Gab, don't know that one either. 50%, that's through Arya, yeah. Anthropic gave it 43% of the time. Grok, that's the one that's used on X all the time. That leans left 40% of the time. And Google, which is why I brought it up, 93% of the time, it gave a both sides response. Only 7% of the time did the argument seem like it was left-leaning, which is why, if you're going to use Google, one, take the AI off if you just want a stupid answer to the best way to grill steak. There's a million chefs that have websites out there that would love your traffic. You know what I mean? Like, every time you stop at the AI overview, you're not helping the businesses below that, right? So you're not clicking on their website. They're not getting the feed. They're not getting the clicks and the views and the payments per click and all that kind of stuff. And we can have a whole debate on whether or not we care, but that's how business is done in this day and age. Is you have a website, you want to drive traffic to your website so that you can get business. And Google is circumventing all of that. Even for something as simple as a recipe, he's taking away all of that revenue, possible revenue from people that make the websites, make the recipes, cook the food, because you're likely going to stop at the AI overview. And that's the problem. One of many.
I agree with what Louise says here. AI bias is irrelevant if you actually have critical thinking skills. If you take in all the information available and actually use your human brain, you can come up with some reasonable conclusions. I also think, as previously mentioned, it's about how you ask it something.
Oh, yeah.
Once you get the answer, ask it in a different way and see what that answer is. Right?
As simple as, well, what would the opposing view be? You know what I mean? Like, why would this not? What are the pros and cons of whatever?
And then it has to give you both sides if you ask it that.
Right.
It really is picking out the things that you say and responding to them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's all kinds of tricks that you can use with AI that I've read about, telling it to respond as if you're a certain type of employer, let's say, or being brutally honest. That's another one I've read a lot of articles about, like, I want my AI chatbot to give it to me straight, like, kind of thing. Yeah. And so if you want your chatbot to be mean or rude or, use kid gloves on you, it will. You know what I mean? You just have to tell it to. And that's the weird thing also about the damn thing. I don't like AI. I saw one of our old colleagues that goes by the name Mud today, and we were talking about that. And also, the whole job of creating AI is in and of itself a dead end as far as a career, if you ask me. Like, why would you go into AI? Because AI will eventually take your job, like, especially in that field. So Yeah, it's just a very weird day and age that we live in. But the reason why I do, the whole critical thinking thing is important is AI is accelerating so quickly. And how much people shove off on it. And there was just an article, I think a bunch of cases were thrown out because the lawyers admitted to using AI to like write their briefs or write their arguments or something like that. And so cases were being thrown out. It's the consequence of the ease in which the tool can be used. And so that's why, going back to what you were talking about earlier, paying per search in the word, maybe that is the answer to rein in people's, unnatural ability to need or unnatural need to get the answer from something like AI every time.
You know what's interesting is you mentioned people getting fired for using AI. And my husband was talking about people that he knows that have been fired for not using it.
Oh, enough. I'm sure. Oh, I'm
because
sure.
In tech and in some other industries, it can make your day more productive. So if you need your brain to do this thing can do all the stuff that took all the time, right?
You mean the thing that they're paying you to do?
Write me all these programs. You know what it needs to write. You know how it needs to look. You know what it needs to do. And so then putting them into place or employing them or, making sure that they're all right, that's on you. But it can do all those things and you can do it in 10 minutes instead of 10 hours.
Yeah, just train the robot to do the part of the job that we used to pay you to do. And then in a few months, you're going to be out of a job. Like, I don't understand how hard it is for people to see this. Like, use AI, plug into AI everything that you do, and trust us, you have job security. No. None at all.
Nancy says my nephew works for Google, and it amazes me how job security is not guaranteed in this day and age. His boss was let go after years of dedicated work.
They don't give a crap about you. No. And the more things like this become computerized, less human to human driven, right? Like, well, why would we want to have people do it when it's so much more efficient,
right,
to have a computer do it? Why? Because people need to work, because people need a job, because that's what you hired them to do. And at some point, cancer continues to grow exponentially, and so will this problem if we don't get a hold of it. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need to continue to grow every company as fast as possible because it won't be humanly possible. It'll only be computers that will be able to do it that fast. And I don't know why we're at such an eager state to make human work obsolete. I understand people would love to be on vacation all the time, but we can't be. We need to pay our bills. We need to have purpose in our lives. And some people, I would hope most people, in some way, shape, or form, like what they do. And so they want to continue doing it, right? A lot of people went to school for this and paid out the butt for a degree in this. And now they can't do it anymore because they were dumb enough to train a computer to do their job. So
AI?
No, but I can talk about AI if I need to.
No. Sorry, getting interrupted. Pardon me. She came in and raised her hand like she had something to offer to the conversation, but I
have something to offer, but it's not about this conversation.
What's it about then?
It's about how I just finished packing except for all the electronics and toiletries, and Allie set a place for me at their table and is expecting me for dinner.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious.
No. Okay.
That has nothing to do with AI, but thank you.
Well, what AI are you talking about?
We're talking about how AI is going to take over our jobs. Do you have something to say?
I think AI is going to take over our jobs. I can't tell if AI is going to take over our jobs or make our jobs easier. But then, it's so like unpredictable because you think that people would be smart enough to be like, oh, the people who are building AI like capitalism, and AI is not going to help capitalism at all. AI is
take your job
closer to kind of communism.
It's going to lead to communism if nobody can work.
And the people who are building it believe in capitalism. So I don't understand what the hell is going on and what people are doing and why they're using it. People aren't even using it. I use AI, okay? I use AI when I can't figure something out and I need a little help and a Google search just isn't going to cut it. But people are using AI to kill other people.
What?
War.
Oh, yeah, true.
They're using it.
War, Kim.
What is it good for?
Nothing.
What are we doing? What are we doing? It's so stupid. Like, use AI. It's a tool.
I'm sorry.
It's a tool.
I hear you.
Use it to write an essay. That's not going to kill anyone. Is it going to waste some water? Yes, it is. But is it going to kill?
It's a big deal. Don't poo-poo that, though.
No.
You need water.
It's so stupid.
Thank you for your opinion.
Thank you, future generation.
Sorry. My bad.
No, that's fine. It was actually good to hear from her. She really needs the whole water. She needs
kids
the water talk, though.
Yeah.
She needs the water talk, though. I'm like, it's a very big deal, Julia.
Power, water, whatever. Environmental damage,
Clean air, clean water. Who cares? I needed an essay written. Shit. Children, you gotta love them. You know what I mean?
Socialism. Well, yeah, that's the thinking. Is eventually we're all just gonna get a what is it called? A guaranteed paycheck for doing nothing.
You're going to be beholden to your government, and the whole fear of communism is going to happen. Mm-hmm. And that is my honest to God belief if we don't get this under control. I love her. She's so funny. But yeah, like it's just something that we really need to think about. And again, I'm going to go over, I want to switch gears and talk about some of these Supreme Court rulings. Mm-hmm. But again, as people hear about Supreme Court rulings, they're likely going to hop online and they're going to go, and then what answer is their Google AI overview or whatever going to give? And that's just something we really need to keep in mind. So one of the, this wasn't a Supreme Court ruling. This was, I forget I didn't print out the whole entire thing, but the judge has permanently blocked Trump's executive order requiring proof of citizenship. Okay. Mm-hmm. Which I agree with. I'm very happy that happened. Right? Like, let's see if it holds.
That wasn't a Supreme Court ruling,
No,
right?
that's what I said. It wasn't a Supreme Court ruling. Yeah. No. I'm trying to find this was, I don't have the state. It was Judge Denise Casper ruled that the president lacks the authority to oversee elections and rejected their argument of widespread illegal voting, discrimination, fraud, hint, because they never have ever been able to prove it, which is good. That's a very good thing. But, for instance, if you were to go into said Google and ask, do Americans believe that you should have an ID to vote? I bet you would get a lot of different answers. And I bet one of them would likely be skewed because a lot of Americans do believe that you need an ID to vote. They just do. I personally think that there's enough safeguards in place that when you register to vote, which many people do when they get their driver's license, that's enough. And then you have to change your address and things like that when you move and all that kind of nonsense. But there are a lot of Americans that do believe that. And so these are the issues that we can't leave over to AI, that we need to use what someone was saying earlier, our critical thinking skills. But this was a 59-page ruling. Judge Casper made the decision permanent on largely the same legal basis as her decision last year. In addition to finding Trump overstepped his authority with the order, the judge said the DOJ failed to demonstrate the alleged fraud that purportedly justified the order. It would have disenfranchised thousands.
That's really important. That's really important.
Yes.
They failed to justify the fraud.
Yes.
Claims. They failed to justify it. And that's what we have been saying over and over and over again, because you have this argument that, the fraud is widespread, yet multiple studies have been done and they can't prove it. As a matter of fact, most of the fraud happens on the conservative side, at least over the last couple of years.
Prove that there's fraud, and they never seem to be able to do that.
But none of the fraud would rise to the level that it would actually affect an election. That's what they found so far as people going to the polls and, voting when they shouldn't be voting. It just doesn't make any sense. And if you were here and you weren't supposed to be, if you were a quote unquote undocumented or illegal, whatever people call it, if you were an undocumented immigrant, the last place you would want to be is at the polls. The last place you're going to put yourself is somewhere where someone's going to notice you and say, "Oh, is that person supposed to be here?"
Exactly. No, they're not going to do it. And obviously, this is not going to be the last time that Trump talks about that. And thank you, Phineas, for the donation. There'll never be an AI version of the two of you. Your humanity is your irreplaceable brilliance. I want to see the Foo Fighters, not an FF tribute band. Yes, exactly. Right.
That was Luis. Yeah, Luis. Thank you.
Sorry, Louise. Sorry, Louise. My dog is bothering crap out of me. Hold on.
Oh, Nugget. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, says Kevin Wells. That's kind of how I feel. How is it that we've been able to have all these elections for all these years and everything has been just fine
Exactly.
and it's worked out perfectly? And then in waltzes Trump talking about, the elections are going to be, if I win, it's fraud. And if I win, rather, it's okay. But if I lose, it's fraud.
Always.
Right?
It's only when they lose that they care.
And he whips up this frenzy.
Exactly.
And he whips up this anger, and these people believe him. And now here we are in some trouble, right?
And people have, obviously when people lose elections, they're always like, well, this happened. I mean, obviously, Al Gore knows this very, very well. But the truth of the matter is the biggest thing that has undermined our elections is Donald Trump. That's it. That's the only person. But there is another problem ahead. The Postmaster General has confirmed plans to block ballots in states that balk at Trump's demands to turn over the absentee voter list to the federal government. Here's an exchange between the Postmaster General, David Steiner, and Senator Gary Peters talking about this decision.
So yes or no, if a state refuses to turn their absentee voter list over to the federal government, will the Postal Service still mail their ballots under this proposal route?
Under our proposed regulation, no. We would tell the state that we need the manifest in order to, look, what we're asking for.
That's the answer. You would tell no. So the proposed rule basically coerces states to conform to these new requirements and hand over their absentee voter rolls or face the consequences of not being able to vote by mail. Some states, that's all they do. Oregon is completely vote by mail. If they say, no, we control the list, the states control the list, we're not going to give it.
Oregon has followed Kit 600 since the day they started voting by mail.
This is a different issue. This will be a lot different issue. You're telling these states either give the federal government this information, trust the federal government, trust the Trump administration. We'll take good care of these. And if you don't do it, you can't mail absentee ballots. You're going to make a decision that people cannot vote by mail. That's unacceptable.
Well, all that does, Senator, is make sure that we match the ballots that a state believes they're sending out to what actually gets sent out, right? And so
now, let's just, that's one. Not. That's absolutely.
Are you horrified? I'm horrified.
Yes, absolutely horrified. And not only that, these people, the post office doesn't have the ability to do this overnight. Like, it's not as if within this idea, they're setting up some sort of system to make it timely, accurate. There's a checks and balance. Who's going to be checking all of these ballots against it? Like, there's a whole different system when you vote versus the post office every single time they get a bag. Like, the post office should not be involved in this. The federal government should not be involved in it. And it's ridiculous that the postmaster is saying stuff like this. Imagine that. Trump ran on distrusting the government. Now he wants us to trust the government. Oh, yeah. I mean, but he's not the first politician to say that. Right?
Why do they feel like they need to be involved in what is a state enterprise?
Exactly.
Why do they feel like they need our information? That they're going after all of these states, voter rolls and voter information. It's like Big Brother petrifying to me.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want any part of it. And I can't believe anybody would think this is okay. It's like the beginning of the end.
Vanessa, I hope you're right. Postal workers are union. Maybe they'll just accidentally deliver the ballots anyway. I wish that was true, but I bet it's a little harder than that. It's just, it's stupid. It's a stupid idea. Why do states have to give the federal government anything? These are state-run elections and always have been. The reason why it's set up that way is for people like Donald Trump to not get their little mitts involved in it. But that's just another way he's going to try to get around it. And we have to keep an eye on it. We absolutely have to get an eye on it.
You said little.
Little hands, his little hands. All right, what other, okay, so the Monsanto, this was a Supreme Court ruling. The Supreme Court ruled today that Monsanto is shielded from cancer victims suing over Roundup. The federal pesticide law blocks states from requiring cancer warnings on labels. I think if you put this into AI, most people would say they disagree with this Supreme Court ruling. It's actually like ridiculous that we're even still having this conversation. Now, there's been debate over the what is it, glyphosate. That's the herbicide. That's in the main ingredient that people have gotten cancer over. Like, think about your landscapers or people that work, in these large outdoor areas, not to mention the crap that you bring into your house. And people have gotten cancer and have gotten extremely sick. The person that brought the suit contended the company was liable for failing to warn them about the alleged link between glyphosate and cancer, while Monsanto countered that the EPA had not required a cancer warning. There's something called FIFRA that basically the Supreme Court said that this case did not fall under. They said FIFRA expressly preempts a state law failure to warn claim against Monsanto because such a claim would require the company to add a cancer warning to the Roundup label that is not part of the EPA approved label. So this is like this stupid loophole, loophole is the word I'm looking for. And it just doesn't make any sense. Although I would say at this point, most people do know about Roundup and its health threats, but I still don't like the idea. And apparently MAGA is all split over this because of the whole MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. Yeah. A lot of MAGA people are upset that the Supreme Court ruled in this way.
We all know that Roundup is a carcinogen,
yeah, exactly.
Right? Like we all know that. The EPA says the key Roundup ingredient, glyphosate, is unlikely to be a human carcinogen. So if the EPA says that, and then you don't have to have that warning on your thing, on your label, then I guess you as a company the Supreme Court says people can't sue you because
you didn't need it. Yeah.
Because the EPA says it's not a carcinogen. So it comes down to our government being so pro-business that they're willing to kill us over it.
Yep, exactly.
So we're dying, right? We heard about the man in Vallejo who sued because he had to stick his hands in buckets of Roundup, and he had got this awful,
I'm sure,
debilitating disease and ended up with this horrible cancer. I mean, obviously, they don't care.
It's bad for business if you put a bad label on it, Kim. It's bad for business.
Keep slapping whatever is not a carcinogen, right? The label says, and you sell it at Costco and Home Depot and Lowe's, and you just keep peddling that crap, and you keep, causing people to be sick and hurting our environment and putting chemicals in our water and having wildlife end up drinking it. And this is how we're polluting our planet. Are you kidding me? Who is in friggin' charge that giving money to these companies is so important that the environment and the health of the people on the planet are now take a second seat?
Well, it's not just obviously cancer-causing chemicals. It's also guns, which this doesn't surprise us at all. The Supreme Court struck down Hawaii's law requiring permission to bring guns into private property that is open to the public, like stores, restaurants, and hotels, unless the owners specifically say guns are banned at their establishment. I mean, if I was in Hawaii, I would just put no guns allowed everywhere, of course. Sure. Hawaii had argued in 2023 that the measure ensured private owners could decide whether they wanted firearms on their property. The state passed the law as thousands more people got legal permission to carry guns in the wake of the Supreme Court ruling in 2022 that found the Second Amendment gives most people the right to bear guns in public. The suit was filed by a gun rights group and 3 people in Maui. It was originally blocked, but an appeals court let it all go all the way up to the Supreme Court. Look, I don't understand why we need to have guns everywhere. Guns don't make places necessarily safer. Do I think that trained law enforcement carrying weapons is fine? Yes, I do. Do I think that any Tom, Dick, and Harry that's dick is too small needs to carry a gun everywhere they go? No, I do not. No, I do not. I think it's stupid. And I wouldn't want to hang out in places that had guns all over the place.
So I guess now you have to, if you're going to the mall, because the mall is private property, it's owned by a company, right?
Right.
Whatever mall, any mall, pick a mall, any mall. You've got to have these big signs everywhere that say, no guns at the mall.
Yep, exactly.
Welcome to America. No guns at the mall. Yep. No guns at the Royal Hawaiian. hotel.
I mean, it seems like a simple workaround. Just put a sign up, but still. Sorry, Harry. But yeah, I feel like it's not necessary. It seems more like common sense. Like, why not opt in? Like, guns are allowed here. And that way I can make a decision of whether or not I want to go into an establishment that has guns.
Because I think most hotels, most places are not going to want a bunch of gun packing, gun toting yahoos coming in.
I don't know.
I mean, don't you, we don't, I don't
hope so.
think that would be, I think most people would automatically opt out, or would, I guess, would not want the gun. So would that be opting out or opting in? And, so it would be a rare circumstance where you would get permission to be able to carry a weapon in a private place.
Yeah. It's an inadequate response to the gun violence we see in this country and in this country only.
Yep.
The mass shooting problem that we have in this country. Now, am I saying that every single gun violence death is a mass shooting and everyone's going to bring out the caveats? And we have a gun problem and a mass shooting problem in this country. Can we do something about it? It's not that big of a deal. Like, I'm so sorry that businesses need to freaking tell people if they can't bring a gun in it. Human lives are worth so much less to this government than guns, chemicals, and big business. And that's just the truth. I mean, that's what we see in every single thing.
Yeah, I completely agree. What a disappointment.
Asylum seekers stopped at the border or turned back in Mexico. Supreme Court says you have not arrived in America yet, so you have no right to apply for asylum. Let me ask the most obvious question. Then how do you? How do you apply for asylum unless you come here?
The answer is they don't want you here, and they don't want you to apply for asylum. So turn your ass back around and go back from whence you came. I mean, if that's the honest answer, right?
Yeah. I mean, the dissent between the justices, those that dissented against it, were like, having an encounter with a border patrol agent, even if it's not on American soil, is in fact starting the process. Like, they can seek asylum. And now they're saying, no. You have to stay where you are. I am going to throw in this big, let's get out of our liberal bubble. Obama tried to do this shit too. Mm-hmm. So it's not just a Trump thing. Okay. But the question remains, if you're not allowed to escape your violent country to seek asylum, then the obvious answer is they want you to stay in your violent country. Because what other thing can you do? If my house is on fire, and this is the analogy everyone always makes, if my house is on fire, but I can't leave my house until I have permission and wait the long ass time to come over to your house, I'm going to burn alive. Does that make sense?
No, it's nonsensical. I mean, who would do that, right?
You escape. You're escaping. You're escaping. You know what? I hate to look down the doom and gloom future, because I like to try to be as optimistic as possible. But dollars to F and donuts that any of these Republicans, if they were in a life or death situation in which they needed to flee the United States, their asses would not be asking permission. You know what I mean? And I don't know why we expect that of other people. I don't understand why we accept it from people that's families are being threatened by gangs, that are, escaping maybe an environmental disaster, things like that. Why not? We were talking about one of your son's friends from Haiti before the show, but did you see what Megyn Kelly said about this whole thing?
Oh, no.
She's awful. Let me see if I could find I didn't listen to it. I just read it.
Well, here's the ruling that Trump is going to, Supreme Court is allowing the Trump administration to end the legal protections for Haitians and Syrians. So we basically said, come here, you're protected, we'll take care of you, we'll get you out of this horrible situation, right? And then the Trumpians come to power and hate people of color, and they say, we don't want them here. And so all of our promises have just been broken just like that.
Yep, exactly. The problem is the T and the TPS, right? It's supposed to be temporary is what they're saying. Okay, hold on. Let's see if I could bring up Megyn Kelly, because, okay, here we go. Okay, here she is. I'm just going to bring it up because she's absolutely awful and I don't want to regurgitate her stupid rant. But here is Megyn Kelly. And this is what she had to say about this ruling. Here we go.
Branch, all of which show that any non-citizen arriving at our doorstep and seeking admission must be inspected and must be allowed to apply for asylum, regardless of whether her foot has crossed the threshold.
Oh, wait.
Unquote.
This is that one we just talked about. Let's see if she does the Haitian one, though.
Contexts that are remote.
Oh, darn it.
End of a
Well,
perfect
Ooh,
day.
wine. I like a nice wine.
let's skip this
Bring
in
it
one
on.
sec. There we go.
But they're factual.
Well, you look.
You know, I've been saying this on the show for years and to people around me and so on. I learned it in therapy many years ago from a
Stay in
great woman
therapy.
who helped me through my only divorce. And here's the bottom line. It's not mean to say something that is unflattering, but true.
Here we go.
Like, what's mean is to say something for the purpose of hurting another person. That's what meanness is, cruelty. But it's not mean to say, you know, I don't like the following thing about you. Like this
Let's fast forward a little.
racial hatred. And they're saying that his policies are sorry, but we don't.
Here we go.
Of all these illegals taking over our country. Get out. Go home. We don't want you. Sorry, but we don't.
I don't know who's the we she's talking about.
And you know
She's not
what?
talking about. She's not me. Not
Virtually
talking for
any
me.
Black American or Hispanic American, and they agree with me. It's not about race. It's about cultural differences. Americans live a certain way.
We're a culturally diverse
certain
country, bitch.
Cultural norms that we abide
She's so
by.
ugly
Like
inside.
when we go to the
She's ugly
supermarket,
inside.
we don't open up the jars and start tasting shit as we're walking around with our toddler in the cart.
Oh my God.
We definitely do not look at people's stray cats as possible snacks,
What a
nor
bitch.
dogs.
Oh my God.
We do
she's
not
just
think it would be a
crazy.
laugh riot to get completely hammered and drive down small roads in towns that have welcomed us, endangering the children who are being killed, by the way. They are being killed, not just because they're drunk, but because they don't know how to drive.
Okay, so that's enough. So basically, she just kind of went off on Haitians and those on temporary. The quote I wanted to bring up, but I don't want to listen to her anymore, is this whole idea of temporary.
Mhm.
She was screaming and screaming and screaming. She's like, it was temporary. Temporary means not forever. To get out of our liberal bubble. That's true. I mean, but we can't say something is temporary, right? And then still participate in the system that created the situation in which those people live in. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Like, this world is so interconnected. The decisions that the United States makes politically, economically, impact other countries. And it's hard to just be like, well, our hands are clean. Sorry, your country sucks. Like, no, there's a reason for a lot. And a lot of the times, and I'm not bagging on America, but because we're a superpower and because we control so much, the decisions that we make impact people in other countries, whether it's through sanctions, whether it's through war, whether it's through whatever. And so I don't know what the answer is to transfer people from TPS, temporary protected status, over to, okay, now it's time to go back to your homeland. Like, I don't know the answer to that. But I know it sure as hell isn't to accuse them of all being murderers and cat and dog eating people. I know that's not right.
She's just dumb. I mean, the inside of her is ugly. You can see it. It's racist.
Oh, yeah, she's
classist,
terrible. She's terrible.
nasty. I mean, you listen to her and you feel dirty because of it. She's just
And she even
gross.
knows. She even prefaced it by saying, it's not mean if you're saying it to hurt people.
It is
All of those
mean.
things afterwards were to hurt people. Like, shut up. Now, Kevin, I understand what you're saying. He's like, the liberal bubble is overrated. MAGA wants to bring us down to their level. I get it, but I also want to be fair. If something is called temporary protected status versus we're going to let you become a citizen, right? Like, let's just be honest about what we are talking about here. If it is temporary protected status, then there needs to be a system in place to, one, figure out when and if it is safe for this person to return. Right? Like,
Yeah.
we wouldn't say, like in Venezuela, who had those devastating earthquakes, like,
Mhm.
and maybe people are coming here to seek asylum because their whole entire town was destroyed. Okay, well, let's make sure that they have a town to return to. Let's make sure things are okay before we're like, yeah, you could hang out here for a little bit, but it's, time to go home.
Well, people would say, well, why is it America's responsibility to fix up a town in Venezuela?
Well, absolutely. I agree with you. That's a even better conversation to have. Like, should we allow people to come here on, again, temporary protected status? I'm not saying asylum or whatever,
right.
Temporary protected status, if we do not have plans to send them back. And what is that? And do we have a role in that? Should we have a role in that?
Would you pick up your life and your children's lives and move your entire household to a different country, not knowing when you would have to be sent packing at any moment? I just feel like, I'll go back to this example. In Petaluma, there were at least, I want to say, 6 or 7 kids from a couple different families that came here as refugees from Haiti 2 or 3 years ago.
Right.
They only spoke French. This one girl in my son's class, she had to have been older than 6th grade. She looks like a high schooler, although apparently Jacob said she's not. But she arrived, she's gorgeous, gorgeous girl. She arrived in her tall, statuesque self, only speaking French. And because Jacob was trying to learn how to speak French on Duolingo, he was trying to try to communicate with her, because he was, thinking that he was the only one. He's the
sweetest kid in the whole world. That's why.
And so they ended up learning, he practicing his French with her and her practicing English with him. And so they're friends, and he's really worried about her, that whether her family is going to be sent back and whether it's going to be safe for her.
Yeah.
And how could you have these people come here, settle in Petaluma, have their kids go to school here, have them become part of this community, and then all of a sudden, because, I don't know, you don't like the color of their skin, these people are not hurting anyone.
No.
They're not taking my job. They're not, here, what are they, eating creatures
Cats
of the night?
and the dogs and whatever.
Come on. As a matter of fact, the people that were in that one Ohio town that was, that she's talking about, were brought in because they needed to fill jobs. So yeah, we do want them here. Yeah, we do have jobs that are open, that need to be filled, that work that needs to be done. Yes, we do want them here. I want this girl to stay and her family. We do want them here. I don't know who she's talking about. We don't want you. Sending this message of being unwelcome. I would much rather have these children here in a safe place than somewhere that their lives are at risk. And once they're here, we've made promises we have a duty to keep. Yeah.
And I'm sure there are, ranting teacher Lori was saying, she's like, sorry. I thought that there were conditions such as not under attack, infrastructure built. Well, those things, the under attack you would hope would end sooner, but the infrastructure being built, the bar for that, what that looks like, I'm sure there are so many different, I'm not going to say the word excuses, but I can't think of a better word, of why people don't want to go back, right? Like, they don't want to go back. And the longer they're here, the more their lives are here. They might start businesses, their kids are in school. I mean, again, these are people. They're just not some doll that you put on your shelf and be like, okay, taking care of you. They have to make money. They have to work. They develop relationships. They might get married. We seem to forget that when the people are here, then they start building a life just like any of us would do. Yeah. And so I do think that it's stupid to do this whole both things. You know what I mean? The whole idea of you have to be on our soil to seek asylum is ridiculous. And the ability to end temporary protected status, I don't know. I just feel it's crazy. So the majority rule that Trump can't end temporary protected status for migrants fleeing violence and natural disasters in Haiti and Syria, and that the courts cannot review the federal government's decisions in regard to temporary protected status. So I don't know what's going to happen to these people, but I think it's going to be really freaking sad. It really, really is. And I don't know if they're going to use the whole fear thing that they've used with other immigrants in this country that's going to make them self-deport. I don't know. But stupid Megyn Kelly going off on our American culture. We are a culturally diverse country and always have been.
unlike people who are here in an undocumented way where you don't know where they are, you don't know who they are, they
Good
know
point.
who all of these people are, right?
Mhm.
They know where they are, they know where they live, they know, so it would be very easy to round them up and get rid of them.
Yep. Exactly.
And I just feel so sad about it. And
Well,
yeah.
well, keep us posted on Jacob's friend because
Yeah, I will.
it's just really sad. And while all of this is going on, by the way, you would think that Donald Trump would take a win, right? You think that the guy would be like, I need a win. Let me help out my Republican Party. Like, why would he? But he wants to. Like, you would think he would want to. But no. Donald Trump has refused to sign a housing bill that passed with bipartisan support. Which is very unheard of in this day and age. Senate voted 85-5. House was 358-32. So big consensus. It would address the nation's housing shortage by increasing the supply of homes through loosening regulations to encourage housing construction and limiting Wall Street investors' ability to buy homes that could go to families instead. There's about a 3.7 million unit shortfall in the United States of homes being built. This bill would have provided grants to turn vacant buildings into affordable housing, all sorts of things. Donald Trump said, no, I am not going to sign this bill until Congress passes his SAVE Act, which is all having to do with election fraud, its new election rules, and laws against transgender people. He's absolutely freaking nuts. Dude, I don't know if he's just not there. Like, it seemed like the easiest win for him. A lot of people on both sides of the aisle were absolutely pissed off yesterday because he would do this. There was a guy, Congressman French Hill, was actually doing a news conference praising the bill. He's a Republican, not knowing that Donald Trump had already said he wasn't going to sign it. So he just makes people look like an ass. Of course, Mike Johnson, the bootlicker himself, has said that he's going to try to get, the SAVE Act passed. It's not going to happen. They don't have the votes for it. And they don't have the votes to get rid of the filibuster or do any of that kind of stuff. I don't know why Donald Trump isn't taking the win, but he's not. And housing, it's like, it's as if he thinks that elections are more important than housing. And while I do think that elections are important and I want to protect the integrity of them, absolutely, you could have had something in your side as a win versus not doing shit and still being haunted by things like, I don't know, the Epstein files.
I feel like in a year with midterms coming up, with affordability being one of the key issues that will be brought to bear before voters. People are concerned about the price of eggs. They're concerned about the price of gas right now.
Exactly.
We're concerned about the price of housing. I was reading this one article about apartment rents and how, it's a take it or leave it situation. And there's no negotiation with rents and people can't afford to live in certain places.
Yep, exactly.
And so this is one way that Trump could have helped all the Republicans that are trying to keep their jobs in Congress and in the Senate. If affordability is going to be such a key issue, why wouldn't he have done this? Mm-hmm. Why is this SAVE Act with this, present your ID to vote and all of these provisions, why is that more important than helping his GOP members keep their jobs?
Because he doesn't care.
He doesn't care. Mm-mm.
He doesn't care because he's out. Like, he knows whether they do well in the midterms or not, Donald Trump's a lame duck president, right? So I don't think he cares. The more, and I'm not trying to be ageist here, but the more in decline this 80-year-old man becomes, the more it just becomes obvious that he doesn't give a shit. Like, he just doesn't care. And if he has to take down a few Republicans, he doesn't care that Tucker Carlson's not a freaking Republican anymore. He doesn't care that MTG left the party. He only cares about himself. And he will go to his grave saying, I won that election. Mm-hmm. It was fraud. That's the only reason why I quote unquote lost. And he's mentally ill.
Take a listen to this.
If he doesn't have the votes to pass, that would basically try to clamp down on illegal immigrants voting, which is not really a problem, as you noted, but he can't do it. So instead of going up to the Capitol early to do this event, he fired off a tweet. I think he did it a truth. I'm sorry. I think he did it from the residence, and then blew up that whole thing. Went into this lunch with Senate Republicans yesterday. Got into a shouting match with Bill Cassidy. They spoke for almost an hour. He didn't take any questions, best I've been able to report out. Did not win any additional votes from senators to either pass the Save America Act or to blow up the filibuster. So he's stuck. And now he's saying basically that, yes, he's freeing up the House to try and pick up on their agenda, but he's not saying I'm going to sign the housing bill that they had set up. He hasn't said what he would actually sign right now. He just wants the sort of rebels in the House to play nice with Mike Johnson.
Right.
Yeah. Play nice with Mike Johnson. And Mike Johnson says, I'm going to get it done.
Yeah. Mike Johnson is an idiot. Yeah. He doesn't have the votes. They don't have the votes. It won't pass the Senate. The SAVE Act I'm talking about. It's as if he just doesn't, and I keep saying he doesn't care, but it's as if he doesn't care that it's not going to pass. He's just not going to give anybody a win. I would hope that in an alternate reality where it was only Republicans on this housing bill, maybe he would have signed it, but it had way too much bipartisan support, way too many D's on that page for him to be like, I'm going to sign it. So, I mean, even Elizabeth Warren praised this housing bill, saying, finally, Congress is getting something good done. I mean, and Donald Trump refused to sign it. So anybody that thinks that Donald Trump gives a shit about their budget, their family's wealth, whether or not you can afford anything in this economy, whether you could put a roof over your head, whether you want homeless off the street, he does not care. He doesn't care. He wants you to believe his delusion about the election fraud because God forbid he loses. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. It's so freaking sad. And I don't know if he's going to sign it. Apparently, though, the rules are, even if he doesn't sign it in 10 days, it'll become law.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't do anything. So basically we have to kind of wait it out as long as something doesn't, stop that from happening. So that's a good thing, but it would have been nice. And especially for the GOP, and not that I'm trying to help the GOP here in any way, but like you would think the president, who is supposed to be the president of the Republican Party too, would want to at least help the people running to be like, look what we did. No. Now you can't even do that. Now you can't even do that.
Nope.
It is what it is. You know what I mean? And it sucks in so many different ways. Somebody was mentioned earlier. I think it was Phineas or somebody was talking about. Oh, yeah. Phineas was saying Epstein files, illegal Iran war, the blue-green toxic algae reflecting pool debacle. The reflecting pool is ridiculous. They're arresting children and like former Olympians for touching the water, which is stupid. He's obsessed with that. It's a weird what he gets obsessed with. So he's obsessed with the reflecting pool that I heard is more blue in recent days than it has been, but still needs millions of dollars in repairs.
No, they put up these giant fences to keep people out. I just listen to what the things we've talked about and the messages coming from our leaders in this country. We don't like the people of color.
Nope.
We don't like the people that are poor.
Nope.
Also, we like the companies and we don't care if you get sick.
Yeah.
That's what they're telling us.
Well, we've always known what they cared about.
So basically the government is acting against our best interest. And I don't understand. We see the president's approval rate sinking lower and lower and lower, but still there's 30 some odd % of people who are behind him. Why are those people behind him? Do they not realize they're voting against their own best interest? Do they not realize he doesn't care whether they're sick or whether their kids are playing in toxic fields? Does he not realize? Do the people not realize that their neighbors could get deported? The neighbors that help them at the grocery store or help them at the local restaurant or whatever it is. I feel like people are not wise.
That is the can we type that out? That is the understatement of our generation. I think people are not wise. Yes, Kim. Another way of saying it are people are stupid. Yes.
As in, duh, Kim, right?
We're in our second Trump presidency, Kim. The answer's in the question. Yes.
The answer was in the second election, right?
Yeah, people are not wise. That's a very kind way of putting it. And while all of this is happening, while we have an illegal war that Trump keeps saying is over, but I don't know, people keep dying, and our gas isn't really going down in price, and our economy is shit, and he doesn't sign the housing bill, Epstein is still there. Like, hello, is anyone going to get arrested? Is anyone going to face a trial? Like, is anything going to happen, Kim? Because TikTok, what the hell? What is going on where we can't get anyone before a court?
They pretty much admitted that Epstein got special treatment at that jail in Florida. We knew it already, but now it's being there. The guards are admitting it. And now we hear Bill Gates, the story is today, not that we didn't know this either, but Bill Gates is saying that Epstein tried to blackmail him
because
with
of his
evidence
affair.
of extramarital affairs.
Yep.
That's who Epstein was. I mean, that
doesn't surprise me. I mean, when you know something about rich people, that you hold it against them.
It doesn't take a lot of brain power to go, okay, he was best buddies with Trump, right? And he's a blackmailer and he's a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who else is a bad guy?
Exactly.
Thank you.
It's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm past my patience of seeing any sort of justice for these women.
No, oh no.
I mean, it just feels like nothing's going to happen. And then today, a federal judge ordered the Justice Department to unredact additional pages of the Epstein files that was in a lawsuit brought by an attorney and independent journalist by the name of Katie Fang. The injunction orders, the preliminary injunction orders redaction to be removed in key documents of interest, including at least 8 email exchanges with Mr. Epstein regarding a torture video and sexual activity with young women, including minors, as well as interviews with a woman who said she was abused by Donald Trump as a minor. Let's take bets on whether the Department of Justice, read here, Donald Trump, because there is no freaking difference, is actually going to comply with this order.
So they have until July 2nd to unredact certain emails, release additional FBI interviews, produce Justice Department documents with a potential co-conspirator names unredacted, or they have to show cause for why they cannot do so. Does anybody want to hold their breath?
No,
because
I will die. I will die.
They will find a way. They will delay. They will find. They're not going to release anything that's going to implicate Donald Trump. And we know it's there.
No.
I mean, it's there. Come on.
You think that this Department of Justice, that is basically Donald Trump, because they do whatever he tells them to do, is going to put forth pieces of paper, unredacted, that show that Donald Trump harmed somebody? It's never going to happen. It'll be like 2 weeks and 2 weeks and 2 weeks until, I don't know, everybody's dead. It's never going to happen.
Listen, what he's supposed to do. Todd Blanche is supposed to provide a redaction log, including written justifications for each redaction in the Federal Register, something that was supposed to be completed more than 6 months ago. They're not doing it.
No.
They're not complying. They're not doing it. And I don't know that anyone's going to hold their feet to the fire over it either.
No. Who? The Department of Justice?
The Supreme Court?
No one. Everybody that could hold this administration accountable for anything is in Donald Trump's pocket. So it's like it's basically Donald Trump.
I mean, I'm glad the ruling came down that this federal judge ruled this way.
I am too, but everything seems so, yeah, whatever. I'll believe it when I see it. Does that make sense? Like, okay, sure. Just like Trump cared about the Epstein files. That he doesn't care about that. He doesn't care about any of that. Just like any of the things he says he cares about, he actually doesn't.
Yeah.
They're keeping Trump alive with a weight loss drug. How long can that last?
Did you hear about that?
No, I did not hear about that. What's that about?
So there's this, sorry, I'm petting my dog here. There is this weight loss drug that has not been FDA approved, and it's not supposed to come out until next year. But there has been one case of compassionate use
for a weight loss drug?
that's been approved for a weight loss drug. Apparently it does other things too, I guess. The compassionate use case has been issued to a 79-year-old man. The White House says it's not Trump. Not Trump.
Oh, sure. Like that, like they would admit it was him if it was. Like, come on now.
But the word is it's Trump. So I don't know. Who is it? I don't know.
That's compassion. Can you imagine though? Like, honestly, let's think about this. Do you want to see a skinnier Donald Trump with all that skin like hanging down? He'll look like he's melting. No. No.
It's called retatrutide is the name of the drug.
Retatrutide.
Retatrutide. And it's an experimental weight loss drug.
Oh, that is funny. Who was it? I mean, we have to know one person got to use it. It has to be Trump.
Only one. Mm-hmm.
He's so weird. Is Donald Trump on a wonder weight loss drug? I'm just looking at headlines.
The White House aggressively denying the report, according to Forbes. They called the reporter who initially said it could be Trump a big idiot.
Well, of course.
Yeah. Of course they called him an idiot. But yeah.
Yeah. There's deny the patient was him, stating there are other prominent 79-year-olds who could have been eligible for the exclusive access to the drug, which in and of itself screams awful. Like, so you're telling me if you're rich and fat, you can get access to this like wonder drug, but if you're not, then no. Like that just seems messed up in some way, but that's just me. I just think it's kind of messed up, but whatever. I don't want to see a Donald Trump skinny. I just want Donald Trump to go away. That makes sense? That just makes sense. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Idaho on July 1st, use firing squad to exterminate convicted sexual deviants. Idaho's firing squad law takes effect July 1st, becoming the only U.S. state with a firing squad as its primary execution method. That's dark.
I don't know if I believe it.
Look that up for me. I feel like I've heard something about a firing squad in recent months. What do you find, Miss McAllister, our audio caster of the year?
Not yet. I'm in second place.
You are to me. I already give you your badge. That's fine.
Thank you. I'm seeing multiple stories that trained members of Idaho law enforcement that have demonstrated firearms proficiency will be filling slots for carrying out the death penalty by firing squad as the state prison system transitions to this controversial execution method next month. So Phineas is not wrong. My apologies, friend.
So apparently, like, don't they like put this? Is what I understand. So like, if you're on a firing squad, I heard that like everybody but one person gets blanks, so nobody knows which is the one that did it.
I don't.
That's
know.
what I heard.
Or maybe everybody gets live rounds and just, you know.
Oh my God. Yeah, because what if the person that gets a live round is a terrible shot?
I mean,
I don't mean to laugh, but it's just, this is a ridiculous world.
It's quite barbaric. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I'm torn on the death penalty. I think that if you did something to my children or my family, I would feel differently, right? So I don't, but the amount of, we don't need to get into a death penalty debate, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not 100% behind the death penalty because of the number of people that have been unjustly killed and they didn't commit the crime.
Right.
But I will say this. I don't think that there's any form of execution that's humane. I don't think that we've been able to find anything that is humane. We might tell ourselves it's humane, but everyone that I've seen lethal injection, it's awful. The electric chair, awful. Firing squad, I mean, hanging, cutting your head off. I mean, you're killing somebody. How is it humane? You know what I mean? Like sleeping pills, I would say, is the only thing, but
this goes with people that volunteer. There will be 6 volunteers. I guess they had looked into some kind of remote operated system.
That's what I was going to think. Right? Yeah.
Where you just push a button and whatever happens, happens. But these people, there were 6 police officers that have volunteered for this.
To be like the only 6 that do it ever?
Well,
like they're the firing squad?
At least for now. They say the state law prioritizes shooting prisoners to death over lethal injection starting July 1st. No one on the team of 6 may have faced disciplinary action over firearms, use of force, or related conduct over the prior year. But I just wonder, who is it that signs up for that? I mean, because no matter what a bad guy they are, you still carry that death on you.
You're the one that's killing them. Like that's a huge. Well, I mean, it's just like soldiers that go to war, though. I mean, in a way, I mean, you're not even giving people that you shoot at war like any sort of jury trial or anything. You just decided you're the enemy, and I'm taking you out, right?
Well,
so
that's war. That's kind of a kill or be killed situation most of the time, right?
Most of the time, but not all the time.
Not
Sometimes
all
you
the
just
time.
ambush them and just kill
Right.
all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, now how about this? Here's a just hypothetical. If you were a family member of somebody that was a victim of the person being executed, would you have to put up one of your like offer it up to them? Like, do you want to be part of the firing squad or not?
Oh, wow. That's not allowed, even in Idaho, Nikki.
Well, I'm just saying, would you?
That was dark.
But would you want to be? Like, would you want to be?
Personally, I would not, but I think that if something happened to one of our kids, I can see my husband signing up to do it.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, definitely can see my husband doing it. I'm a terrible shot, so I probably wouldn't do it. Not just making a joke. I wouldn't want to do it anyway.
No.
I don't think I can't take somebody's life. I don't care whether it's justified or not. I'm not taking people's lives, not in this lifetime or any. But yeah, that's crazy.
I think that they should, if they're going to have the firing squad as an option,
right?
Yes, pull the switch. I think if they're going to have the firing squad, it should be an option, not like this is the main method you'll die.
Yeah.
Like you should be able to pick. Do you want the shot? Do you want the electrocution? Do you want the firing squad? You should be able to choose your method. If we're going down this dark, barbaric path, then
then lay it on me. Lay it on me. Let's go dark. Let's go even darker. If you were a horrific criminal and you were facing execution, what way would you want?
Oh, definitely the injection.
I heard that it's pain, like that they actually do feel pain. That's why the drug people didn't want to be part of it.
Probably not as much pain as it is to get shot, and probably not as much pain as it is to get electrocuted. Like if you're just comparing all of the options, I think that would be the option.
See, I disagree. And I know this is going to sound weird because of what we just talked about, but I would, if you're a good shot, just take me out with a shot. Like, because it's instant. And I don't have to sit there and wait for like the first injection. And then I'm like paralyzed. And then the second injection. I feel like that would just be awful. Like just walk me out and then boom. I'm sorry. Like we're having such a dark conversation right now, but in all honesty, like, why can't we just do sleeping pills or like put them in a garage somewhere with a car on? Like, is it really that difficult?
Well, maybe the whole point is not to make it so that they're not scared at the end. Maybe the whole point is for other people to go, ooh, that's awful. It's a deterrent. I don't ever want to.
But nobody's watching it. Anybody that's watching it is like a victim. Like,
well, you hear the scary stories, like so-and-so, got the injection and they had to shut down everything because it didn't work, and he shuddered for the
exactly. Yeah.
So I mean, there's some pretty horrific stories that come out of this. I don't know how we got. Thanks, Phineas. I don't know how we went down this dark road, but I could say, I think,
Idaho.
Idaho.
He put it in the comments. I don't know. It's just a new law that I was like, what?
I think that the shot seems more like a medical procedure and less like a bloody, violent death.
So, but then it's just really benefiting the people watching it. If it's still painful.
Well, I mean, for yourself too. I mean, if it's a firing squad, can't they hit you multiple times? They can hit you in the shoulder.
Well, I would really, I would. That's why I would hope like they can do the math and like just get me straight between the eyes and let's be done. You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess that would be nice to have very skilled riflemen or women there.
Yeah.
But I mean, who knows?
Rev says lethal injection feels like drowning, but you're paralyzed. I heard drowning is euphoric.
Ooh.
I feel like I heard that when you're drowning, I mean, obviously once you get past the fact that you're drowning, that apparently the body like goes into the state of euphoria.
Ew. Really?
That's what
I don't
heard.
know. I almost drowned in the ocean, and it scared the hell out of me. I thought, this is how it ends.
I said, once you get past the point of like
that was pretty bad. I thought that was the end of me. I was in kind of a panic situation. I didn't think I was making it out.
You got to get past that, Kim.
Yelling at my son,
Once you get past that, it's euphoric.
I thought, and I was pulled down again.
Oh,
There's
baby.
no way I'm getting out of here.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, I don't think that's peaceful. I mean, just like my brief experiment with that, experience with that, I don't think that. No.
All right, end of our dark conversation. Let's lighten things up before we end the show. Oh my God, we talked about this in our last show about the World Cup. And can I just, okay, you guys know I'm born and raised in San Jose, and I'm just going to use both hands to like pat my city's shoulders right now because I am so proud of San Jose right now. Like, there is not often a time in which when you hear about a major sporting event and celebrations and parties that San Jose beat San Francisco hands down. And we beat San Francisco hands down. Every place, and I'm talking about TikTok, Facebook, Reddit, anywhere. Anytime I see a post about, hey, I'm coming into town to watch the World Cup, I've got tickets, where's the best place to go? Everywhere says avoid San Francisco and go to San Jose. And I'm just so proud of my town. Because if you have not experienced going to San Pedro Square, which tonight in about 35 minutes is probably going off because the USA is playing Turkey, I believe. San Jose is playing Turkey at 7:00 tonight. If you go to San Pedro Square, it is so packed, Kim, that they had just like the bar stretch that's always closed down for San Pedro Square with 2 TVs and everything like that, like we talked last week. They're extending it another full block because of how packed it has been getting with people out there wanting to watch the show, wanting to watch the game. So
Yep.
I'm not into soccer that much either, Liz. I feel like the World Cup is the only time that people that never watch soccer watch soccer.
I'm caught. I have not watched the games, but I'm watching the fans.
Oh yeah,
and the
it's the best time.
And the songs and the dancing and the fun.
Oh, and honestly, in this day and age, and this is the other thing that I keep seeing on social media, it's like the World Cup is showing us that the world really can get along and be diverse. And it's just that our governments are pains in the butts. You know what I mean? Like, if our governments wouldn't try to make us hate each other so much, that we would get along just fine. There was another one that said, being at the World Cup with all the different, countries and nationalities and ethnicities, it's like when you go to you'd go out to holiday dinner with your cousins more often, but your parents hate each other. Like, they just don't let you see your cousin. It's like everyone wants to play and party and celebrate together. And even if their teams are opposing, they're still cheering each other on. And I've seen if you want to be uplifted about society and about people and not government and politics, watch the World Cup videos of people partying together and cheering. I'm telling you, it is absolutely amazing. It is so heartwarming to see. But the San Jose Sports Authority, like I mentioned, added at least one more street-spanning screen and extended the outdoor viewing area for an extra block in 3 directions because of the crowd. Now, tonight's game, I'm assuming is going to be packed just because it's USA versus Turkey, but we've already won Group D. So this is me acting like I know what's going on. Group D is what the USA is in now, but they already won their past 2 games. So this one is kind of like just like a friendly, USA is already moving on. But yeah, that's Mexico right there with their Mexico jerseys on.
What a start to the 2026 World Cup after an unprecedented opening match that included 3 red cards.
Look at all those people.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And San Pedro Square erupted.
And that parking garage is right on the other side of all the bars. This is where I always go if I'm going to go downtown. And it is so much fun and it's great for parking. So was it last weekend or the weekend before? Viva Calle, which I don't know if I've talked about on here. I think I have, is where San Jose 2 to 3 times a year shuts down miles of roads to just bicyclists, walkers, scooters. And it usually has it has all these stations all over the city. One of them's in downtown. Well, James and I, of course, had our bikes down there. We watched a free live concert and then walked over to San Pedro Square where there was a World Cup game happening.
Wow,
People
fun.
watch from the parking garage. It is hands down the place to be. And I just love it. Downtown San Jose has never given much love. A lot of people, even in San Jose, don't like going down there. But I am telling you, not all of downtown, not praising all of it. But I'm telling you, the San Pedro Square, that entertainment zone is just doing everything right. So I'm just giving their kudos and their flowers and everything because they are showing every single World Cup game morning, noon, and night. So tonight start at 7:00. If you're heading down there, good luck. Take an Uber because you're not finding a parking spot anywhere close, and just have a damn good time because it's definitely worth going. I just wanted to go down there because I wanted to see the whole thing, and it is a party. And they've got the security and they've got everybody. They got a lot of security down there as well, but it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
Here's the American fans.
America is already through, but Team USA wants more.
Yep.
One final group match, one more win, a perfect 9 points. Before the Turkey clash, American fans arrived early. Flags flying, drums beating, red, white, and blue.
Of course, red,
that
white,
is
and
awesome.
blue. Yeah,
I'm telling you,
I'm trying not to get us demonetized. Show you just a little bit. Yeah,
but yeah, I'm just saying, like, it is a good time. So if you're in the area, if you want to watch a watch party, even if it's not USA, like I think July 1st is also the next one. I don't want to say I have my dates right. Is the next USA one, and that one actually matters because again, they're moving on no matter what. But go check it out. Honestly, go check it out. It is so much fun. And again, remind you what America is. We are a diverse nation of people from all over the world. We have been that way since the very beginning. All these people saying, go back to where you came from. This is where we come from.
Yeah.
This is where we come from. And even though soccer is not huge, it's big right now. And us being one of the host cities and everything like that, it's just awesome. So head to San Pedro Square. That's my little advertisement for my hometown.
What do you think of them making Levi's cover up their logo on the Levi's?
I find it absolutely hilarious because as if nobody knows that's the Levi's logo. There was a reporter or some TikToker that did a whole thing on how Levi's is actually smarter. Have you seen their social media pages?
The catch up and
Yeah. And so it has the white cover over their logo, even on social media. It's like the nondescript logo and they're making bank off of it. They're like, we're not going to pay you. So if you don't know, FIFA wanted Levi's to pay them because their logo is going to be all over everything. Levi said, nah, we ain't going to do it. And so they're like, you have to cover it. So it's called like the Santa Clara Arena or something stupid. And Levi's is like, everybody knows that's the Levi's logo or Levi's. It's not hard to figure it out.
Yeah, we might have to clip this out, but one of the things that kind of warms my heart is that somehow the U.S. has adopted the John Denver song "Take Me Home."
Have we? Okay,
that's our song, and the entire stadiums are singing this song. Other fans from other countries are singing this song.
I love this song.
I mean, the whole place is singing it.
See, and I don't know how you can hate people from other countries when you watch the World Cup. Like, and not to mention, I'm going to be a total girl right now. I love watching these soccer players. My God.
Oh, I know, me too.
they are quite talented men.
That's why I'm rooting for the Scottish team. But yeah, and there was another one I saw where a player, his name is Jude. The whole stadium erupts in the Beatles song "Hey Jude," and the
love
players
that.
like got tears running down his face because it's just such a great moment where the entire stadium is singing this for him.
Yeah,
these are the moments where you look at a country that's so divided, and even a world that's so divided, and then something like this happens where all these people come together in one stadium to do one thing. And it's just, they're these beautiful historical heart rendering moments.
Yep. And if you want to laugh, I don't have any of the videos, but you can totally Google them. People from out of the country trying our food, going to Costco, like they're hilarious. It's like my favorite show. They're blown away, by movie theaters that have heated seats and like the legs go up. Cars. It's really funny And it reminds you how awesome America is. Like, we are a great place. We just can't let politicians and honestly politics make us forget that I think at our core, we're good people who want to understand other people as much as possible. And between this and Obama's library opening, this is how I want to celebrate our 250 years. You know what I mean? I don't need a reflecting pool. I don't need, a UFC cage match. I need countries coming together for the love of a sport. And I need, just diversity and love, and a great president to remind us all about it. Not Trump. That would be Obama. So, I just wanted to end the show on that. I just think it's a great time. There's a lot more games coming up, so we'll have a lot more opportunities to see it on our screen. But again, if you're going to be in the San Jose area, head on down to San Jose and go to San Pedro Square because it's popping off. Okay, let's do some thank yous before our show ends. I want to say thank you to Harry, who started us off with a $5 donation. Louise as well with a $5 donation. Oh, Cindy came in with a $10 donation and says, as a person afraid AI could take my job within a few years, Julia's passion gives me hope that the future won't be all bad. I vote for Kim once a day. Thanks for all your support. Vote for Kim. Vote for Kim. And Louise came in again. The grift is on, ladies. House Mouse Johnson is going to, the grift is on, ladies. I get it. Mm-hmm. House Mouse Johnson is going to try to attach the SAVE Act to a budget reconciliation bill. He's going to try to do that. I still don't think it's going to pass. It's not going to make it. At least my lips to God's ears. Yeah. So we'll keep our eyes on that as well. But thank you again, Louise, for the other $5 donation. Okay, so that is our show. You guys enjoy this beautiful weather. If where you are has beautiful weather, because we live in California and we pay for it. And we will see you back here next Thursday at 5 o'clock. Tell your friends. Again, if you want to support the show, because we are 100% crowdfunded, all the ways to support the show are in the show notes. And we really appreciate each and every one of you that come every day to the show, but also support us because we can't do it without you. Yeah. All right, guys, we will see you next week. We love you. Take care of each other. Bye.
Nikki, you're all so awesome. You're proud, like a beautiful blossom. You're also the best. I really can't rest. You're all so awesome.
Wow. Okay.